We see them on our screens looking like they have all the happiness in the world. With their fame, millions of dollars, and towering success, we often watch them with a sigh of envy. But have you ever wondered, are these smiling faces as happy in real life as they appear? Or do they hide a mountain of silent agony behind the camera's glow? If you watch this video until the end, you'll understand why Ice Cube is not just a rapper. Ice Cube, real name O'Shea Jackson, was born in 1969 in the notorious South Central Los Angeles. At that time, the area was deeply filled with violence, gang culture, and racial discrimination. From a very young age, he witnessed blood on the streets, police brutality, and daily uncertainty, experiences that leave a deep psychological mark on a child. But the biggest shock of his life came when he was only 12 years old, when he lost his beloved older sister, Beverly. This death was not just a family tragedy, it marked the sudden end of Ice Cube's childhood. Losing his sister shattered him from within. It made him silent, but within that silence, a dangerous power was born. To cope with this grief, he turned to writing. Pen and paper became his therapy. The pain of losing his sister, the injustice around him, the suffering he saw on the streets, he began to trap everything in words. Slowly, those words found rhythm, and that rhythm transformed into rap. That is why Ice Cube's music is not just entertainment, it is documentation of anger, reflections of grief, and the raw truth of real life. It can be said that the death of his sister Beverly gave birth to his artistic identity. Without that pain, the world might never have received a voice so fearless in exposing reality. The year 1986 became a turning point in Ice Cube's life. A teenager from South Central who used to pour his pain and anger onto paper joined Ruthless Records, the label founded by Eazy-E. In a very short time, his sharp writing caught everyone's attention. His pen carried the raw truth of the streets, unfiltered and fearless. At just 16 years old, Ice Cube wrote the song that would later become history, Boys in the Hood. This song was not fiction, it was everyday life in South Central. Guns, gangs, police, fear, and the struggle to survive were portrayed so realistically that the American mainstream music industry was shaken. Around this time, the legendary group N.W.A Niggas with Attitude was formed. Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, MC Ren, and DJ Yella. Ice Cube was the group's primary lyricist and its rebellious voice. His lyrics were not just rap, they were direct accusations against the system. In 1988, their iconic album, Straight Outta Compton, was released. This album changed American culture overnight. The songs were banned on radio, police and government authorities were outraged, but young people found their own voice in it. It wasn't just an album, it was a revolution. Straight Outta Compton proved that street truth cannot be silenced. And the most powerful weapon behind that truth was Ice Cube. This album established him not just as a rapper, but as a cultural icon. At the peak of N.W.A.'s popularity, cracks began to form behind the scenes. Financial distribution and creative control became major points of conflict between Ice Cube, group management, and some members. He realized that the person writing the group's strongest songs was not receiving fair recognition or compensation. In protest against this injustice, Ice Cube made a bold decision. He left N.W.A. At the time, many believed this decision was career suicide. Critics said, Ice Cube is nothing without the group. This is the end of his career. But Ice Cube was not someone who accepted defeat. Instead, the controversy and anger became fuel for his creative fire. In 1990, he released his debut solo album, America's Most Wanted. The album was pure fire, exposing systemic oppression, racism, police violence, and America's hypocrisy with brutal honesty. The 3 Ks in the title were intentional, a clear political statement. The album was a massive success both commercially and critically. Then in 1991 came an even more controversial and powerful album, Death Certificate. This album felt like an X-ray of Ice Cube's soul. Divided into the death side and the life side, it portrayed the death and rebirth of American society. The lyrics were so bold that some feared him, while others embraced him as their voice. These two albums proved one thing. Without N.W.A., Ice Cube didn't just survive, he became more dangerous and more influential. He was no longer just a rapper. He was a truth-teller capable of challenging the entire industry alone. Where many rappers remain confined to music, Ice Cube proved he was more than an artist, he was a visionary. After solidifying his place in music, he turned toward another tough world, Hollywood. In 1991, Ice Cube made his big-screen debut in Boys in the Hood, directed by John Singleton. This was not ordinary acting, it was a reflection of his own life. The streets of South Central, gang violence, and the struggles of young people were portrayed so realistically that audiences realized Ice Cube wasn't acting. He was telling his own story. The film was praised by both critics and audiences and established him as a serious actor. Then came a completely different side of him. In 1995, Friday was released. With this film, Ice Cube proved he wasn't just an angry rapper. He also had excellent comedic timing. Friday wasn't just a movie. It became a cultural phenomenon whose popularity remains strong to this day. In the following years, films like The Barbershop series, Ride Along, and many others cemented his place in Hollywood. Together, these films generated hundreds of millions of dollars at the global box office. From a street rapper, Ice Cube became one of Hollywood's bankable stars. Ice Cube didn't stop at acting. He founded his own production company, Cube Vision. Through this company, he began telling his own stories, creating opportunities for people from his community, and proving that he is just as powerful behind the camera as he is in front of it. On camera, Ice Cube appeared tough, fearless, and rebellious. But off camera, he was a husband, a father, and an ordinary man who quietly faced life's storms. In 1992, Ice Cube married Kimberly. In an industry where relationships often collapse quickly, their marriage became a rare example of stability. Together, they have 5 children, and securing their future became one of Ice Cube's greatest priorities. But fame can never protect anyone from grief. As mentioned in the video, even at the peak of success, Ice Cube had to endure multiple personal storms. The most painful among them was the death of his father. This loss reminded him that no matter how big life becomes, emptiness can never be fully filled. His father's death created a silent fracture in his life. He spoke little publicly about it, but the shadow of grief appeared in his work. He held his family even closer. Slowly, Ice Cube realized that true success is not money or fame, but spending time with family and raising children the right way. These struggles did not soften him. They made him stronger and more responsible. He proved that being strong does not mean being emotionless. It means moving forward despite pain. After decades of struggle, controversy, and success, Ice Cube now stands in a completely different place. Once a man who spat fire against the system, he now uses those experiences to build his future wisely. Today, Ice Cube's net worth is estimated at around $160 million. He owns massive luxury homes across locations including Los Angeles and has an impressive collection of luxury cars, symbols of his long-earned success. Yet surprisingly, this wealth is no longer the center of his life. Compared to before, he is now far calmer and more composed. Staying slightly away from the spotlight, he prefers spending time with his family. Watching his children grow and enjoying quiet moments at home have become his greatest achievements. Ice Cube didn't stop with his own life. He founded the Big 3 Basketball League, a professional 3-on-3 league that gives retired NBA stars a new platform. This initiative proves that Ice Cube is no longer just an artist, he is an entrepreneur and a leader. He is also involved in various social and community initiatives. He has never forgotten the reality of his childhood. Even today, he believes that success is only complete when it creates change in other people's lives. This is how Ice Cube's story reaches its conclusion. The transformation of a street kid into a world-conquering artist, actor, entrepreneur, and family man. At the end of this long journey, we don't just see a rapper or an actor. We see a courageous and honest man. Ice Cube never chose the easy path. For speaking the truth, he faced criticism and took risks. Yet he never moved an inch from his position. His courage was speaking against injustice. His honesty was never forgetting his roots. Ice Cube proved that fame may come and go, but character is a person's true identity. Backhand index pointing right. If you want to watch real, inspiring celebrity stories like this regularly, subscribe to the channel now. And don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a new video.